everybody, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I want to read through some of the posts on the Am I the Asshole subreddit. It's one of my favorite threads to scroll through when I'm bored, and it always makes me so grateful to live the life that I do because there is some wild stuff on there. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have my trusty tablet with my cute Labubu hanging off of it. It's my first one. I got it a couple of days ago. I'm in love with him. So we're just going to get started. I have it all pulled up already. I don't have the window open this time, so there shouldn't be as much white noise. But yeah, I haven't read through any of these, so I'm just gonna pick ones that look the most interesting. So this first one says aita for refusing to change someone's baby's diaper. My wife and I have been married 10 plus years and have a few kids. Sister-in-law and her husband had a baby 2 years ago. No major complaints. They tend to ask for people to do stuff that I would think they'd do themselves. They'll come over to our house. They live an hour away. They'll ask ahead of time if we have their kids' favorite crackers on hand. Why they don't just pack the crackers, I don't know. They are well off, so money is not an issue. If one of them leaves the room, they'll ask one of us, my wife or kids, to be in charge of the baby, even if the other parent is right there just scrolling on their phone or something. Whenever I say something to my wife, she says I'm being too much. The other day, we're having dinner at mother-in-law's house when the baby had a poopy diaper. Sister-in-law looks at me and says in the sweetest voice, "Can you change the diaper?" She frequently does this when we're there, but this was the first time I was asked. I answered politely, "No, I'm sorry, I don't do that." "You don't do diapers?" "No, I don't do other people's kids' diapers if their mom or dad is around." "I mean, if I'm babysitting, sure thing, but yeah, if the parents are around, I feel like it's their job." Sister-in-law looks like she's ready to cry. Well, I feel selfish. I smiled to try and set her at ease. Not trying to make you feel anyway, just telling you a boundary is all. The table got really awkward as she got up and did the diaper. Afterwards, my wife blamed me for making sister-in-law feel bad and said I could have just changed the diaper. Not trying to make anyone feel bad, but I've had 3 kids and I always took responsibility. I watched them, I packed for them, and I changed them. I'm not looking to be a secondary parent for this kid. That's valid. Let's see. I'm gonna give my verdict and then I'll go through some of the comments. I don't think he's an asshole personally. I'm gonna go NTA on this one. NTA, your sister-in-law only felt bad because the obvious was pointed out to her. You said no when she asked you, then she pressed you further, trying to either guilt you into changing the diaper or make you look bad because you didn't want to change a poopy diaper. Seems like the consensus for this one is NTA because the parents are there and they're capable of changing the diaper. AITA for hiding my friend's husband real salary. This has been weighing on me. A close friend's husband was unemployed but got a job a few months ago at my cousin's company. I had no part in getting him the job, but he called me after starting and asked me not to tell his wife, my friend, what his real salary is. He assumed I knew because his boss is my cousin and told me the actual figure, which is much higher than what he told her. He said he sends a large portion to his mother, which causes fights with his wife, so he downplayed his income. I was uncomfortable but chose not to get involved. Now the problem is my friend constantly vents to me about how little her husband earns and how frustrated she is that they can barely get by. She even asked if I could talk to my cousin about getting him a raise. Recently, she told me half his salary goes to his mom, and the rest isn't even 25% covering of their expenses. That made me wonder if she thinks he's giving half away and seems to be okay with then maybe the real issue isn't what he claimed. Is he lying to both of us? I feel stuck. Should I tell her the truth or stay out of it? P.S. They're not from a country with government support, so his mom really relies on her kids for medication and daily needs. Yes, I think you are the a-hole for hiding your friend's husband's salary. Let's see what the rest of the Reddit universe thinks. This person is asking for info. Did he tell you his salary or just assumed you knew due to your cousin? If he told you, that's one story. On the other hand, if you really do know due to your job/cousin, that's information you shouldn't spread. I think your best bet is to encourage your friend to look deeper herself. Phrase it as you should work out a budget, look at his pay stubs, figure out how much he's making on a weekly basis, and work it out. I don't think he's in the wrong for sending his mom some money, but figure out how to work it into your household budget. OP said, my cousin would never expose the salary of his employees. He's very discreet and professional. He's the one who called and told me the exact amount, which I didn't know or even asked for. I did tell him that I had no idea what he is getting paid, and it's none of my business. I think he wasn't buying that I didn't know and maybe believed. I was just trying to cover for my cousin to not expose his lack of professionalism. Okay, so he knew. So this person said, everyone sucks here. He sucks. You suck for hiding it. Husband is the a-hole. He put you in a horrible situation and then you agree to keep it quiet. Friend's husband is deceiving his wife, draining marital assets without her consent. So everybody is saying the husband is the asshole. AITA for not paying for my friend's hospital bills. I, 24 male, live with my friend, 26 male, in a 2-bedroom apartment. We were friends before living with each other, so we set some ground rules, and one of them was that we don't share groceries. We have separate mini fridges in our room, so you couldn't even eat or drink something that isn't yours on accident. One day I was out with friends and I was craving the cake in my fridge for when I come home. When I came home, I saw that the fridge was empty and I saw the plate in the trash. Turns out he was allergic to peanut butter, which was in the cake, and he saw himself in the mirror, face puffy and red as a tomato. So he called an ambulance. Nothing serious happened to him. After he saw the cost of the ambulance and EpiPen, etc., he asked me to pay for it all because apparently I poisoned him, and I told him that he stole my cake without even telling, and told him to F off, and went home. He told all of our friends, and they were telling me to at least help him pay it. So, AITA, no, I do not think he is the a-hole. His friend should not have gone into his fridge. Yeah, I don't think he is the asshole at all. But he is saying NTA, he ate something that was in your fridge in your room. He didn't even know the origins of. Someone said, could you send me the measurements of the ball's size needed to try to hold someone accountable for stealing food he's allergic to? NTA, I have a deadly food allergy. Because of that, I never eat food that isn't mine or that I haven't checked the ingredients. If he hadn't stolen your food, he wouldn't have the bills. That is all on him. Yep, pretty much that's how I feel. AITA, I bought a multi-pack of snacks to leave in my locker at work, and I don't think it's weird. Today on a big food shop, I bought a multi-pack of snacks to take into the office and leave in my locker at work. This makes sense to me for the following reasons. It's a snack I used to buy from the office vending machine, so I buy it myself to save money. I keep a multi-pack in my locker so they're always on hand, and I don't have to remember to pick them up every day. I don't eat them every day in the office. They're mainly a backup, so the pack lasts a while. I put a pack intended for the office into our shopping trolley. My husband comes along and says he wants to get some of them. I say something like, cool, I have some for the office, grab another for home. I hadn't originally intended on getting another for home because we don't always go for that as a joint snack. I'd already both like and take them to where he can't share them. He thinks rather than buying 2 packs, we should just split one in half, or I should take a pack every day. I could do that, but then I either have to remember every day or buy them more frequently. Makes sense to me to just buy one for the office and one for home. We both also buy snacks and food the other one doesn't like for the house. He works full-time remote. At the time, he basically just moaned that it was weird. I brought it back up because for me it's similar to him picking snacks he knows I don't like, so they're just for him by default. I don't have a problem with that, TBH, so not sure why he has a problem with this. He suggested asking the good people of Reddit. So is it weird that I buy a multi-pack of snacks to leave at work, or is it weird that he has a problem with it? This is stupid. I think it's a weird argument. Is this what straight people argue about? Oh my gosh. I can't. No, I don't think you're an asshole for buying snacks for yourself to take to work. Everybody's saying NTA. Okay, that one was not that good. AITA for telling a friend exactly why my wife and I wouldn't go on a trip with her. My wife and I, both 32, both female, have a friend named Anna who's 33. Anna is sweet, very funny, and can also be very naive. While this isn't always a bad thing, she is at times ignorant of how the world works, /news, etc. Anna has a family that owns a large vacation property in another country. She's long wanted to take a friend's trip there and is finally planning on doing so. Multiple people have been invited, and this past weekend when she and I got coffee, my wife and I were invited. The problem is homosexuality is criminalized in this country. In case you missed it, I'm a woman married to a woman and would not feel safe traveling there. I would especially be worried about my wife. She has a very classic butch look, whereas I am more feminine. I know a lot of times these laws will pertain more towards gay men, but still we wouldn't feel safe, and that's what matters. My wife knew we were probably going to be invited and said F no to any idea of traveling there when I mentioned it. I didn't make a choice for the both of us by myself. I told Anna no, I'm sorry, but my wife and I would not be able to travel there. She pressed why, and I said because we're gay. That country criminalizes gay people. She just said oh and kind of awkwardly changed the topic. Later though, I got a text. She said she felt I embarrassed her for not knowing, and while she didn't know, it's not like she's homophobic or anything. Just that she wants to go on a trip there, and why did I have to be so blunt about it? I'm frustrated, and also I feel bad. I'm not sure why. I guess I could have made an excuse that airfare is pricey right now, or we had something else planned. My wife is saying I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. AITA. So, for more information, it's in the Middle East. That's all I'll say. No, I don't think you're the asshole. Nobody ever said she was homophobic. Why did I have to be so blunt about it? Why does she have to be so sensitive? NTA, NTA, NTA. Yeah, NTA. The consensus for this one is NTA. We'll just do a couple more. Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my sister's wedding or give a gift after she invited my ex but excluded my wife? I think the wedding ones are my favorite. They're always so messy. OP is 32, sister is 28. Okay, my sister is getting married in a few weeks. She recently sent out the official invites, and while I was included, my wife, 30-year-old female, was not. When I asked about it, my sister told me the decision was intentional. She said she wants her wedding to be as peaceful as possible, and that she doesn't feel comfortable having my wife there. For context, my wife and sister have never gotten along particularly well. There's no major incident or explosive history, just mutual dislike and a few passive-aggressive exchanges over the years. That said, my wife has always been respectful at family gatherings, and I've never seen her act out. What makes this worse, though, is that my ex-girlfriend, whom I dated for I wasn't comfortable attending under these circumstances, and I wouldn't be sending a wedding gift either. I said if she doesn't recognize my wife as part of the family, then she shouldn't expect me to play along with the celebration as if everything is fine. She accused me of being petty and trying to punish her for setting boundaries. My parents have since called to say I'm overreacting and that I should just go and keep the peace. To me, this feels like more than a disagreement. It feels like a fundamental lack of respect for my marriage. But the family seems to think I'm making it about me. Aita for refusing to attend the wedding and declining to give a gift because of how my wife has been treated. I think the sister should be more respectful of his wife. I'm gonna go NTA on that one. I think he has every right to not attend the wedding. It is his wife. His wife is his life partner. But at the same time, the sister is allowed to invite whoever she wants, which is unfortunate because it's kind of messed up that she clearly doesn't value her sister-in-law. We'll do one more. This one says, AITA for letting my sister hold my baby against our mother's wishes. Interesting. I, 29 male, have a newborn baby. My 9-year-old sister, whom we'll call Kylie for privacy purposes, has been so excited to be an aunt for the first time. Kylie has a physical disability. She struggles with fine motor tasks and has a slight tremor in her hands when holding objects. Because of this, our mother stated that she did not want Kylie to hold the baby ever. She kept saying how Kay's hands can't be trusted and that it would be best if she just looked at the baby. But Kay was so excited to meet her new niece that I decided it was worth trying. Well, that can go either two ways. Anyways, with some assistance from me, she was able to hold her without issue. When our mother saw it happening, she was not happy. She said that it was irresponsible of me and repeated that Kylie's hands can't be trusted around the baby. She started talking about how when she says no as a parent, I need to respect that. I'm gonna go with NTA. Just because if he was there watching her handle the baby, he would have had it under control. If she were to drop the baby, I'm assuming he was just there, like maybe having his hands below. Everybody else is saying NTA, NTA, NTA. Yeah, NTA, it's your baby. You can decide who holds your baby. It's not your mother's baby. That is going to be it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. These are always so interesting